I'm Molly Martinez here with Joe Ingles and Andy Chow of the State House News Bureau. Today we're remembering the life and work of Columbus Dispatch reporter Jim Siegel. Joe, we're going to start with you. You worked with Jim for decades. What is sort of the void being left at the State House in his passing?
It is huge. It is huge. I was there when Jim came there, and Jim was a presence. He was able to hold everything together. He was such a leader, and he was a person who would step back. He had that gift of being able to step back from something, analyze it, and figure out how to deal with problems. He was the leader of OLCA, which is the Ohio State House Press Corps. And as the leader of the State House Press Corps, he just seemed to be that guy, the glue that just kind of held everything together. He was great with that kind of thing, great people skills, and such a wonderful human being. He is definitely going to be missed.
Andy, you know, at the State House, we're all in a group and sort of we're competitors at times. Jackie Borchardt said this, but ultimately we're friends and we all work together. How was Jim as a colleague?
Oh, he was one of the greatest people to work with. And, you know, when you get to the State House, you encounter so many big personalities and a lot of egos, and Jim didn't have that. I mean, he had a great personality, but he didn't have the ego, and he was always willing to help you with something. Even when he's working on a scoop, maybe he'd keep that to himself, but when it came to other things, he had no problem letting you know, hey, there's this bill that's going on, hey, I missed this, what did I miss? And he had no problem helping you out, giving you advice. You know, when I first started, he would give me a lot of advice, and I talked to him a lot about just how to get information, how to build relationships with people, and he was a great role model for a lot of reporters.
A lot of people who were sending out tributes were talking about sort of the quality of his reporting and how he was really an old school journalist who was sort of in a dogged pursuit of a lead. Can you talk a little bit about his actual reporting? Oh,
it was amazing. I mean, you know, there are certain reporters in the State House Press Corps, I think we all do this. We look to see what everyone's doing.
Oh, yeah.
And what are they on to? What's their story? And, you know, you hope that someone's doing that with you as well. But it was always Siegel. You were always looking to see what Jim was on, because he always had these stories that had tidbits in them, information in them that you knew it was spot on. And if I heard Jim Siegel say something, or if he wrote something, I knew it was true. I mean, he got his facts straight. He was just really good with journalism.
He was really great at building relationships with leaders and legislators, and so he was able to get those quotes and get that information that maybe not everyone could get, because they knew that they could trust Jim with the information. And then he was also just a well of knowledge and information, and so when you would read his stories, you knew that there was a lot of institutional knowledge there, where he had been around for so long that he could say, well, this is what's happening now. By the way, this is something that maybe happened 4 years ago, and then 8 years ago, this was happening too. And he had this wide, comprehensive knowledge.
But he was really able to do it in a way that we could metabolize, and that the reader, even if you didn't have this vast knowledge of, you know, inside baseball of the State House, you could really read it and take away something. Well, Joe, Andy, is there anything else you guys want to add about Jim?
You know, one thing about Jim that I always admired is his ability to come off with numbers on the top of his head, just like that. Because I'd sit on a panel with him, and I would forget. I'd be sitting there going, now, what was that number? And sure enough, Jim would come right out with it, and he'd have that number. It was amazing, actually.
In an environment that could be so serious, Jim had this great smile.
Oh, yeah.
And when you would walk into the room, or when he would walk in the room and smile, it just like would lift your spirits, even when big things were happening at the State House.
Yeah, dry sense of humor, and it was great. It was a great sense of humor.
Well, Joe, Andy, thank you so much. For our viewers, his funeral service will be held at 4:30 on Monday at the State House atrium, with a service at 5:30 that is open to the public. Thank you both so much for joining us. Please stay with us here on Spectrum News 1.